Hey guys, welcome back to Film Spire. Today we'll talk about the worst bar rescue owners ever. Let's head into it. Number 6. Owner on the Run. The Original Hideout.
Are you lazy? What exactly are you?
Two brothers owned the Original Hideout in Tucson, Arizona. Its main issue was that one of the brothers owed $300,000 in debt and couldn't seem to keep up. The overwhelming weight these two brothers had on their shoulders was huge. But it's what some business owners have to endure. The other brother, Raul, couldn't seem to take the stress and anxiety and literally ran away during filming. It was a sad scene as these brothers were completely in over their heads. Number 5. So we meet again Mr. Taffer.
That's good to hear,
Yes.
because when employees date, you as an employer are liable, you know that.
Yeah.
The story in this season 6 episode is that Taffer returns to visit the couple who got engaged at the end of an episode in 2013. With their first bar rescued and running successfully, they've purchased the second. This time, Mark's fiancée Ozzy is in charge of the new location. It's believable that the series would want to check in with the former characters, especially ones with a great story. But that's all about that's believable here. Mark is somehow never at Ozzy's bar to help her. What kind of fiancé does that? And even though they've been taught the Taffer tricks of the trade, Ozzy's bar is somehow a dump. How could that be when the other bar is so popping? The bartenders all somehow look like aspiring actresses too, further making this episode just too much to believe, even knowing what we know about how an episode of Bar Rescue gets made. Number 4. Breaking Brandon.
It can't possibly succeed. Let me get through here.
In the season 7 episode, bar owner Brandon runs Linda Lou's time for 2 in Layton. His mom, who is chronically ill with multiple sclerosis, has poured all her money into the joint in an effort to support Brandon, who spends much of his time helping her and his dad. It's pretty hard to even get up in the mornings, Brandon says, in an early episode confessional, cause I don't want to. What's the most ethical way to proceed? Maybe not including a montage of mom struggling to walk. Maybe not including Brandon in the Taffer tearing the bar staff apart session. Maybe not naming the episode Breaking Brandon. Brandon ends up leaving the said session and locking himself in the bathroom, where he proceeds to sob, "I can't do this anymore," until production sends in his longtime friend and employee to calm him down. They let him go home for the day, and when he later returns, Taffer changes his tone towards the poor guy, but considering his breakdown is still included in the final cut, the episode ends up feeling ghoulishly exploitative. Number 3. All Blaze, No Glory.
What we got going there?
They call them little mini beers? Okay, so is that beer with heavy whipping cream?
Oh my gosh.
7,000 people walk at the Ford plant across the street, so the bar should be doing great business, especially during lunch breaks. But sloppy owner Don, who doesn't bother to learn his female employees' names and instead calls them all Rachel, is holding the whole place back. Jenny and Taffer watch as he drinks too much, leaves all the responsibility to his niece and employee Ray, and gives away copious amounts of free alcohol. Instead of using Jenny throughout the episode and encouraging her to serve some of her own advice to the staff, she mysteriously disappears after the first scene. Her face makes a return appearance 40 minutes later on the bottle of her alcohol that is not at all subtly placed within a shot. But overall, this product placement scheme is far from seamless, and the incredibly average story it's built into isn't enough to save the episode. Number 2. Two Flew Over the Handlebars.
How'd you feel when you saw that?
It's a nightmare, John.
Wow.
It was a nightmare.
In Two Flew Over the Handlebars, two sisters run a bar together in small-town Connecticut. As the episode's title may lead you to believe, the bar is biker-themed. Stephanie and Betsy are trying their best to keep things running, but at least one of them has a pretty significant issue with alcohol, impairing their ability to run anything smoothly. Instead of leaning into the inherent drama that is sisterhood, the show outsources it. Taffer brings in a professional counselor to help the sisters mend their relationship. If any mending happens at all, it takes place largely off-screen. The episode leaves the audience with an unclear picture of the state of their relationship, and the renovated bar isn't much to talk about either. Taffer simply amps up the biker theme, sticking a giant motorcycle outside. Number 1. Struck Out at the Dugout.
Ed is a bummer. And that's why this bar fails.
The bar owner in this episode, Ed, seems to go above and beyond to effortfully make the lives of those around him miserable. Don't just take it from us, the entire Reddit community is fired up about Ed. As one user put it quite eloquently, "The owner is a complete ignorant shithead and doesn't listen to John or his colleagues. The staff turns on him." Another chimed in that Ed easily was the biggest asshole that I've ever seen on the show, and there are other assholes as well, but he takes the cake. A few of these fans argued that Ed's absolute awfulness makes for an engaging watch, but it's true that it's sometimes hard to look away. But when an out-of-control owner's inability to be an adult is costing his establishment 40 grand each off-season, the reality is not entertaining. It's sad, even for reality TV. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.